Hello, hello, hello. So sorry about that, gentlemen. This is Gary here for Limitless Racing League. Limitless Formula Racing. I do apologise dearly. Well, we missed a few moments off as I did have a connection issue here. So thank you for Wild Gamer for letting me know that my audio was not on. So I'm going to run through the qualifying times as we hit the halfway mark. We have Dark Stomper 131.4, 131.1, sorry. Basman 131.3, and he's stuck right at the pits. Don't think he's got. I think he's got no traction control because it keeps spinning there. MX on a 131.5. Destroyer on a 131.0. Well Gamer on a 131.0. They are just 100th between them two. Judge with a 131. Sorry, 132.1. Magnus on a 131.1. King on a 132.2. Brenda's Union on a 132.4. Addy on a 132.5. John Nevis on a 132.9. Flea on a 133.0. Pressing Mix on a 133.4. Ronan on a 135.9. Payne's Dead on a 139. On 139.4. So we've got Bosworth, TMBA, Geopat and King's Home all to say still to put in a timeout, but all four are on out laps. So let's jump on board with invalidates lap, but it is an out lap, so that's okay. So Circuit of Americas, folks, let us know what you feel about it, what you're thinking, where you are going to get the most time, where you're going to lose the most time, because it's quite a complicated circuit. So a little bit about the circuit for our viewers. So it is 3.4 miles long. It has 20 turns, and if I remember rightly, that's 12 to the left and 8 to the right. Off the top of my head, I might be wrong, but I'll count them through in a moment. So as you can see, the circuit itself is comprising of many different parts, which look very similar to circuits that we've seen all through the F1 calendar and outside of the F1 world. As you can see, turn 1 is an uphill hairpin to the left, and what I'll do is I'll jump on with Joe, or King's Home, as we run through this first lap, this first flying lap. So here we go, this is the pitch straight, as you can see on the screen. It is quite wide, it can fit 5 cars across, which has been the record, especially up here. And now it should be a late apex, but a lot of people hit it in the middle. You want to kind of move over to the middle of this corner before turn 2. While Gamer is struggling to get a time out of it. The S-bend's very similar to Maggots and Beckett's on Silverstone, so if you do well at Silverstone, you'll do well there. As we're coming up to turns 9 and 10, heading onto a short straight to turn 11. Turn 11 is another hairpin, another late apex to give you the best run down to turn 12. This is the long straight of the circuit. This is where Heron Till put all his effort in, focusing what does he want at the end of this turn. And as you can see, you sweep round another sharp turn. These two turns are a flip version of the Bahrain circuit. You have to take this in reverse from the Bahrain circuit, and then another 2 turns. It's quite similar. These turns here, this is turns 17 and 18, is very similar to turn 8 back in Turkey. So we've got Magnus shouting hello Magnus, great to see you on the circuit here, my friend. And it works around turn 19 and 20, and in we go for a time of a 131.4, a fantastic lap from King's Home. So we can see a lot of jumping around by our board. We are waiting for Bosworth to set a time for everybody to have a time. We've got 5 minutes left. A lot of drivers out there on the circuit. Let's see who we've got that we can jump on board with. So we've got Addy, who is actually starting second. It looks like he's actually taking this slow. I think this might be either he's nursing the tyres for another fast lap, or he is actually learning the circuit, because this is the pace that you would take to get to know the corners where you can push the car, and he has invalidated that lap on the S-bends, which is quite common for a lot of drivers. And we've got Meg saying well done Joe, and hi to me. Hi Meg, thank you for joining us. Keep those comments coming. That's a fantastic time by Kingsholm. I must say, when we was on board with him, it's a very tidy lap. Little bits that you can work on to get it faster, but we won't judge him on that. So we're going to run through the times top to bottom again, because it has jumbled around since we last looked at them, and everybody has set a time, which is fantastic to see. So we've got Dark Stomper at the top with a 1:31.1, Bazman with 1:31.3, Kingsholm at a 1:31.4, Addy on a 1:31.4. He is only 5 thousandths behind Kingsholm. MX on a 1:31.5, TMBA on a 1:31.9, Destroy on a 1:32 dead, Well Game on a 1:32 dead as well. He is 15 thousandths behind Destroyer, which is very tight. We have John Neves, who's on a 1:32 dead as well. He is 4 hundredths away from Wild Gamer. Judge on 1:32.1. He is less, or he's just over 5 hundredths behind John Neves. So again, tight. Another 500 hundredths behind is Magnus in 11th. He is on an outlap, and I will join on Magnus because I'll be honest, I know the driver well. I've seen him race in other leagues, and he can get some good times, but this is USA, and it's never an easy circuit. King is on a 1:32.2, Gioppa on a 1:32.4. We have Brendan on a 1:32.4 as well. He is 2 thousandths behind Gioppa. What a time difference! And we've got Flea, who's just pipped in a 1:32.2. Fantastic time there. Preston Mixer on a 1:33.0. Bosworth on a 1:33.1. And we do have we have Wild Gamer Raz and Magnus with a crash. Right, I will give you some history on this. Magnus, me and Magnus have a running joke. I always mention about the fact he crashed into the wall. He doesn't really crash. He's not a bad driver, but I'll go through that in a moment because I've got Ronan on a 1:35.4 and Paynes on a 1:39.4. I think Paynes is still learning the circuit, so I am going to jump on board with, let's have a look, we'll go with Magnus. So with Magnus, we just joked about hitting a wall, and unfortunately one of the recent races he did hit a wall. It wasn't me who was razzing him for it, it was actually my co-commentator at the time, who is not with us in this league, I will say. So Magnus there has invalidated that lap. He is slowing down, letting people pass, which is very fair. But let's see if we can rinse him for a bad lap. Let's give him a bit of banter. Let's show exactly what he could be doing. Right, okay, so Magnus here with this should be his fast lap. He should be putting the time in here. That is quite good. As you can see on the board, from 1st to 17th, it is 2-second gap. That is tight. It is less than half a second between 1st and 5th. Everyone in the top 10 is less than a second apart. It's brilliant to see. So Magnus there having a little bit of wobble going for the S-bends, and he's invalidated that lap. I am going to bum it out of that and jump on with someone else. Let's have a look. So we've got Brenda's Union, who is on a flying lap, and he hasn't invalidated. But there's a yellow sector in sector 2 up by the S-bends, and I think that's just Magnus sorting himself out. There we go. So Brenda's Union is down by 0.058 of a second on his fastest time, As the time does lapse up, provisional pole is Dark Stomper. We do have Addy, MX Blue, Oxen, Bloxen, or however you say it, with it there. We've got Brenda's Union, who has managed to leapfrog Gioppa with a 1:32.3, nearly 1 second of 8/10, and he invalidates that near 1 second. So these times here from our faster drivers are outstanding. They are competitive between all the drivers. Addy jumps in with a new provisional, new fastest lap of a 1:31.1. Absolutely amazing. So we are waiting for the presser mixer, Bosworth and Ronan. We were all able to Ronan comes into the pits. Then Addy says he's lost 2/10 in the last sector. Well, losing 2/10 in the last sector, so you would have been sub 1:31, which is an outstanding time. So as we end Q1 there, we're waiting for the last drivers to come in. And so Magnus here saying that yeah, he did have a 1:31 between a 1:30.9 and a 1:31.2, which is actually quite feasible, I would say. He is a quick driver, Magnus, from previously knowing. I won't question that, but as we can see that we are saying goodbye to 4 drivers. We've got Gioppa, Presser Mixer, Bosworth and Ronan. We're saying goodbye to them until the race, as they have been knocked out from that qualifying Q1 session of the shakedown. So oh, it's full. Gives you another chance to get a bit faster there, Magnus. Uh-oh. More chances for Magnus to crash into a wall, I will be honest. But as we can see, we are going into Q2, and Q2 is quite important because it means this is where you put your race tyre on. This is where you have to start working out. Are you going to start on soft, mediums, or softs or mediums? Unfortunately, they don't allow hards on this game. Even though if I can make a lap out, a fast lap on a hard tyre, that's the tyre I would be picking. So here we go, 15 minutes of Q2, and we've got 15 drivers ready to go. Do we have anybody out? I don't see anybody moving as of yet. I can hear cars revving just a little bit. Obviously my volume has been turned down so you can hear my voice. But we do have, let's have a look. We do have a Red Bull gone out. And we do have a Williams, who is the first to leave the pits. So we have King, who is out on the first out lap. Judge is out there with him as well. Magnus, King's home. Excuse me, this has been a long day for me. So let's have a look, let's go. I was right with the corners. It is 12 to the left and 8 to the right on this, and quite impressed myself that I remembered that fact without having to read it up. Oh, having to count it, should I say, rather than read it up. So if you remember the race yesterday, which was the Bahrain was also made by Herman Till, who you can see some of the corners. So the reverse Bahrain corner that we do have Judge on at the moment is straight from Bahrain. Idea it is the reverse of turn 9 and 10, and you kind of have to handle it in exactly the same way as you would handle the Bahrain corner in reverse, obviously. Turns 17 and 18 being similar to the Turkish racing circuit. Turn 8 is a high G-force turn, so it does require a lot of neck strength, a lot of grip to hold your speed through that corner. So let's have a look. So we do have Judd on soft tyres. We've got quite a big mix of soft and hard tyres here. So here we are with Judge. I'm going to jump on board with him. At the moment, I want to jump on board with. Who do we want to jump? Tell you what, viewers out there, let me know who you want to jump on board with. Who you want to see going out on those fast laps. So we jumped. It was on with Joe earlier, or King Zone earlier. But can you tell me who you want to see? Obviously, I think Wild Gamer would rather see Magnus spin out, and we got King's going off circuit. I think he just allowed a couple of drivers to go past him, which is very, very fair to him. Let's jump on with Wild Gamer, another quick driver, and he is going through turn 11. We'll stay on with him. So Wild Gamer coming up through turn 20 right now as he starts his fast lap. So this is a medium tyre time, so we are looking for roughly the mid-pack, front-pack time. A nice tightly turned round, turn 1, goes into middle, ready for turn 2, sweeps the corner nicely. Position ready for turns 4 and 5, 6, around 7. Coming to 8 and 9 now, so this is turn 8. Turn 9. Turn 10 is this little kink, which you don't really need to worry about too much, you just need to carry the speed. Get as wide as you can on this corner, you almost touch that curve, sweep it round. A late apex there by Wild Gamer, which is actually spot on. As he hammers down, you kind of want to stay as close as you can to this white line on the right. As it runs in, you want to be on that far right. A bit further over Wild Gamer, you need to kind of straighten it up before you get anywhere near the corner. Another late apex was just spot on. So you're going to back across and round again. You need to kind of get yourself in the middle of this corner, because then you sweep on the outside and cut in dead sharp. Fantastic turn in there. Now we're going through turns 17 and 18. I think a lot of people love 17 and 18 because just carry it on. It's 4 apexes double turn, as the USA circuit will call it, but it's actually one large turn really. You don't really take off the turn. Around turn 20 here, and up we go, and with a good time of a 1:33.0. Obviously soft tyre, 0.7 seconds off a normal pace roughly, but we do have Painstead with a 1:32.0. Fantastic time there by Painstead. Destroyer on a 132.1 on a soft tyre. John Nevis on a 132.3 on a soft tyre. Doc Stomp on a 132.3 on a medium tyre. Brendan Jr. on a 132.3 on a soft tyre. Judge on a 132.3 on a soft tyre. About 100 between them two. TM on a 132.9 on a medium tyre. Wild Game on a 133 dead on a medium tyre. We do have King on 133.4 on a medium tyre, and Magnus on a 133.7 on a medium tyre. Still to make a put a lap in is Baz, Addy, MX, Kingzo, and Flea. So let's jump on board with Kingzone, because Kingzone has just started a flying lap by the looks of it. Let's throw the lap data up, so we can see that he has been on. He has just come out with these tyres, redone a fast lap. He's fresh medium tyres, hopefully to get a good time. He needs to get above basically 7th to hold that position, guaranteed, in my eyes. Because we do have 10 drivers all putting a time. And it goes round, comes up to turns 12 and 13. Right across over to the far side, ready for 15 and 16, because 14 is that little kink in between. Now 17 and 18 here, nice wide. You want to be clipping these corners. These, if you can, perfect line will clip those 4 apexes nicely. Nicely round turn 19, getting ready round turn 20. And puts in a time of a 132.5. Exactly what I said, he needs to get 7th, he needs to be in the top 7, really to hold that position. Hopefully that might be enough for the medium tyres to get through, but he will probably jump on a soft tyre, ready to put in a fast lap just in case he needs to. And here we are, we are going to be jumping on board with someone else. Oh, Judge is invalidated that lap. Let's go through the times. We have Payne's Dead on a 132.0, Detroit on a 132.1, John Nevis on a 132.3, Doc Stomp on a 132.3, Brenda's Union on a 132.3, Judge Santi on a 132. What's the safety car out? We've got Evening from Payne's Dead. Evening Payne's Dead, a fantastic lap. Let me know how you felt about that lap after you've done it. Tell me where you thought you got the best momentum from that circuit, because this is one of those circuits that everything is different for everybody. People like the S-bends, people like the hairpins on the straights. Just drop us in, because you're sitting there, Joe, with a very fast time, and we like to know your little secrets. I was a bit perplexed and bamboozled, discombobulated, if you would like to say, about the safety car being out. Anybody else having a problem with safety car, let us know. Getting in the way there. Right, for any of you who don't know me, I am a big car fan. I love the look of cars. That has got to be the nicest spoiler in the world. Just love the little vent out side, extra downforce given by that design. It is why Renault has been able to put the power down when and where they need to. The engine might not be up to much, but that gives you that extra bit of traction. And the great thing about it, they are actually fully adjustable as well. You will see in some circuits they're actually a bit more flat, especially if you look at Monza. In real life rather than on a game, but that looks fantastic. Enough about that spoiler, let's have a look. We've got Magnus sitting down on 30th. Magnus will have to throw himself in to another fast lap. So Meg's I feel like it's going to be an interesting race. You are not wrong there, Meg. It is going to be interesting. USA brings out the good, the bad, and the ugly out of every single driver that puts on it, because you find what parts that you're amazing at, and you will drive them out, drive beautifully, and then you find that little bit that you struggle at, and it throws you off, and then you turn into an ugly get because someone else has just overtook you. So we got, question is, should I go for softs and put myself in Q3, or go for strategy? Magnus, go for softs. The circuit is a soft hard combination. Everybody should know that. If you go on mediums, you are basically, the chances of you getting a good stint out of those mediums to go onto the softs afterwards is not great. Get the softs, get the hards afterwards. That's the strategy. The undercut is quite strong on USA, especially on if people are putting in long stints. Did that in my league? Of course you did. Softs to hards. Trust me. This is a highway circuit. It's like Silverstone. It wears the front tyres out so quickly, more to the right than the left, because of the amount of turns you're turning. But you are working hard on those tyres. A medium soft. Guess who I passed that last lap? I can't think, because I don't think I've raced that one. Oh, go on, you're gonna have to tell me though. Tell me. I can't think I've actually raced USA. I'm not a USA fan. I'm personally driving it myself, but I do love seeing people struggle through the S-bends or through turns 17 and 18. It's a great thing. But to get the best laps throughout the circuit, tends to be a softer compound first to go onto the harder to make the long stint at the end, because usually that's where you make up the gaps. But this race is quite tight, so the alternate strategy could work. Mr. Wild Gamer. Oh, he's shots fired there by Magnus. Bit of banter on the chat, we like it. Come on, Wild Gamer, throw it back at him. Just laugh at the fact that you're fourth and he is not even in the top 10. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got Addy, who's pinged a fast lap there on meters of 1:31.9. That is fast. That is very, very fast. Payne's dead, another fast lap with 1:32.0. Destroyer 1:32.1. We've got less than a minute for people to make their times count. Wild Game 1:32.2 on the softs. Destroyer also on the softs. King on softs at 1:32.3. John Nevers on a 1:32.3 on mediums. And 1:32.3 on for Dark Stomper on the mediums. Benders Union on a with 1:32.3 on the softs. Georgia 1:32.3 on the softs. King's Home 1:32.5 on the softs, and he's out for another lap to secure the top 10 places. A very, very fantastic amount of fast laps we had from our drivers. We have Flea, who's out on a fast lap. We still don't think Batman is able to get out of the pits. I'm sure that we'll find out the reason why that is off him after the race, whether there was an issue with the engine, whether there was an issue with him unable to get out in time. But we do have Flea, who's actually making a good time here. Let's see how he does as he comes around 10-11. He looks like he might be our last driver out there, maybe not. We do have a couple of drivers sitting behind, and I think they might have been validated, but let's have a look. So Flea coming around up to 10-12. And Wild Gamer throwing it back out to Magnus, Mr. Wannabe Viking. Long story again, another banter story. I'm sure we'll carry on with this banter throughout the league, if these two are in the same league, obviously. And here we go, Flea going round turn 17, 18. King's Home pulls out, gives Flea the chance of setting out a nice lap there. Flea coming around the final corner with a nice time so far. Let's see how he does. Let's see where he sits. 1:32.3, just short of a top 10 place, but he's in 11th. He is provisionally in 11th. Let's see where MX sits, because MX is the only person who can change things at the moment. with a 132.1. 132.1 puts him in 5th on that. So that is put Magnus. Whoa. I do apologise. Magnus 132.1 on the 132.2 on the 131.2 on the soft tyre. Has managed to steal it in the closing seconds. How did I not see that? Brenda's Jr. in second, Addy in third, Painstead. There's 4 fantastic times, but Addy and Painstead might have the alternate strategy here going from mediums to softs. It is a high revving circuit. They would have to put a very good long stint on those mediums to make the softs work. We've got Destroyer in 6th, Wild Gamer in 7th, King in 8th, John Nevis in 9th with the medium tyres, TM in 10th. All those drivers go through. We're going to be saying Sarinara to Dark Stomper, Flea, Judge, Kingzo and Barsman, who are unfortunately unable to make the top 10. So Wild Gamer and Magnus taking over the chat with the banter, which is great to see. I'm sure any viewers will happily have a look into that. I'll join in if you wish. But viewers, please let us know how you feel about the race. Let us know what you're thinking, who you think is going to be getting pole in the next race. We have drivers in there that are so fast. Top 7 in within a second. If you exclude Bassman, it is 1.2 seconds from first to 14th. That is fantastic. An absolutely outstanding time set there by our gentlemen. We are waiting for drivers to come in. Magnus to come round. I think. Right, we do have a glitch for some reason because we have drivers back out, and I think this might be. This is a glitch within the Codemaster system, and I don't know what's gone wrong here because this should be. This will be Q3. Okay, gents, for some reason it says that Q2 has started again. Okay. Looks like we have a software issue here. So I am going to be sitting on with Magnus at the moment until this either rectifies or something happens. Bear with me while I find out what's going on. So it just seems like these drivers are stuck out on outlaps. Right, bear with me one moment. John Nevis on a 130.9, which is the fastest lap. Right, bear with me one moment. I am going to have to sort a couple of seconds out. Right. Do apologise, I'm just going to so what I'm doing right now, I am just waiting for a new invite to come through from the team so I can get back in and watch Q3. I do apologise entirely regarding that, but we'll jump back in there and we'll see who is in top 10 after that glitchiness from Codemasters. I do really do apologise. So here we are. I do apologise entirely, but we've got Painstead at 130.3 on the outlap at the moment. We have MX on a 130.9, Wild Gamer on 131.6, TM on 131.8 and has retired. DG Destroyer on a 132.0, King on a 133.0, John Nevis on a 133.9. and Brenda's Union on Addy and Magnus still yet to put in a fast lap. Let's jump on with Magnus, who did put the fastest lap time on Q2 as far as I'm aware. It looks like that he has invalidated that lap, so he will be taking this lap to keep his tyres warm, keep them as fresh as he possibly can, and recharge that battery ready for another chance out there. We do have Addy and Brenda's Union still yet to go out and do a lap. We've got John Nevis out on an out lap. King on 133.0. We've got DG Destroyer on 132.0. So it just seems like these times are a little bit off at the moment, but I'm sure these times will change in a few moments. Bear with me while I jump back on the chat system to see how all the comments from our viewers. With me missing a small segment of the Magnus learned how not to invalidate a lap. Yes, Magnus. Didn't hit a wall though, that's a positive. So here we go, fast lap from Magnus, let's see what he can do. So a little bit of a late apex, which is exactly how we should be dealing with that corner. Into the middle, goes round 10-3. Sorry, this is 10-3, there's 4, 5, around 10-6, up into 10-7, around 10-8, through 10-9, nicely done through the S-bends there. How does he cut to 10 nicely? He should be more closer to that white line on the right, and he breaks in nicely. Looks like he overshoots 10-11. That'll take out a big chunk of time because he's lost so much speed going down into 10-12. Is he still going for a fast lap? I hope he still puts a good time in there, though. But a lot of time has been lost on that. He needs to be pushing himself right over to the far left, because this is your Bahrain reverse 10-10-9. Around a similar set of corners again. Onto my favourite part, which is 10-17-18. Around 4 apexes. Touch them all, you need to. Around 10-19. Let's see how he does around 10-20. Smoothly does it. And over the line in a 1:31.4, which is a good time. He's still got a lot of time to make up through that mistake he made at 10-11. Beats Wild Gamer's lap, but he is on an out lap again, Wild Gamer. Let's have a look. We've got to have a look to see who is out there. We've got Bendis, Union and Addy both need a lock up from Addy on the left hander there. But he has put in a purple sector too, so we could be looking at a good time here from Addy as he comes around 10-17 and now 18. Pretty much close as he can get to those apexes. Cuts 19 nicely. Around 10-20. Lock up. Will it cost any time though? With a 1:30.7, it puts him in provisional second. A very nice time from Addy then. Putting MX, Magnus, Bendis Union all down one spec. And we've got Wild Gamer who's retired from that. Is now on. So Magnus has retired as well by the looks of it. So these drivers are happy with their speeds. We have got less than a minute left for people to cross that line. So it looks like drivers such as Kings may not make it in time. Let's hope he does. Let's give him let's hope he has a chance there to make an improvement on his lap. He will be our last driver if he makes it. He's got 20 seconds. Well, Gamer, I knew I would invalidate my lap. I cursed myself. It's because you took the mick out of Magnus. You know, the fake Viking doesn't take kindly to that kind of banter, so he probably put a curse on you as well. And here we go. King is through the S-bends quite nicely. Had to slow down to keep the car in control through that through 10, 6 and 7 there. Around 8 and 9 nicely. A little bit of a wobble on the way to 10, 10 cuts it nicely. Looks like he's catching the car in front, and let's see how he handles. Beautifully round 10, 11, cuts it nicely, but slides out. The corner was nicely done, he just slid the car out a bit too much. Let's see if we can recover this this time. Okay. Well, we just seen something that we shouldn't really seen. We got Payne's dead, who actually stopped the car to check to see what was going on. So that's Q3 pretty much over. We've got our drivers just to come back in. Payne's dead. I drove down to see what happened with King, and it looks like King just kind of let the car go, or was there a connection drop out? I don't know. Well, he probably has a black cat as well. Yeah, and a broomstick. And a broomstick. So, we got drivers still. Have we got any drivers still out? No. So that is the end of Q3. Thank goodness that let me stop that then. So that was the qualifying is over. I will run through the standings as soon as this is cleared through. So we have Painstead in pole, Addy in second, MX in third, Magnus in fourth, Benders Union in fifth, Wild Gamer in sixth, TM in seventh, John Nevis in eighth, Destroyer in ninth, and King in 10th. So that was a nice battle there. I found that qualifying session was a little bit more wider than Q1 and Q2. Q2 was so close. It was a brilliant time. It was like 1 second between first and 15th at one point. So anybody viewing in, please let us know how that goes. I've got Painstead, lol. You had a nice view there, Painstead. It was quite a view to have of that guy just going straight off. So we are getting ready for our race. This is a 50% race. We are looking to see how our drivers do, ready for the Tuesday night racing league. Also, we got some people here from the Monday night racing league as well. Some drivers that we did see yesterday, and some new drivers as well. So we are waiting for all our cars to be ready as our drivers are choosing their setups, what strategy are they using, what fuel loads are they using. Be quite interesting. And here we go, warm-up lap, formation lap, however you want to say it. That's what we're on right now. Let's have a look, let's see what the details are. We want tyres. We have a mixture of softs and mediums. So mediums are Painstead, Addy, who both put on the mediums for Q2. Fleet Judge and King's Herb, all three with mediums, and Bazman with the mediums. I'm still not too sure whether that is the time that the strategy to go with the alternative strategy does work quite well. I might have been tempted to put on some hards and seeing how it went. So here we go. Strategies that is shown at the bottom: medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft to hard. It said on there, and then soft mediums. So could it be a two-stop race? I think a lot of these drivers are going to try and push these medium tyres to the limit, as well as some of the people with the soft tyres. As I said, it's soft to hard in my eyes. It's the way the course is built. It is designed to wear your tyres thin. So let's have a look. We're going down the order. We've got Painstead, Addy, MX, Magnus, Wild Gamer, TM, John Nevis, Destroyer, King, Dog Stomper, Flea, Judge, King Zone, Benders Union, Gioppa, Gipoa, Pressing Mixer, Bosworth, Roninosaurus, and Bazman. Just shared it onto Facebook. Oh sweet, we got a share onto Facebook. Thank you, Meg, for sharing the stream onto Facebook. Anybody else fancy sharing it? It'd be fantastic. As we start a 28 lap race around the Circuit of Americas. So let's have a look. We want a nice view of these lights. I don't like that view of the bumper on this point. Let's clear view, as we can see. We want to see everything in its full glory at the start of the race, as we are waiting for all the drivers to be set and ready to go. Got everything ready here to get to boot. We do find that sometimes it might take a while for the race to start. As I flick down the drivers to see, you see some drivers are bouncing around in their boxes a little bit. There we go. That's a nice little bouncy car. That. Back to the front. Tick tock, tick tock. We are waiting. It's either we're waiting or I'm glitching. And I can't see anything wrong with my signals at the moment. So what I will do